Join me right now on Kumite TV is the Aftershock flyweight champion, Ryan Robertson. What's going on, Ryan?
How you doing? I'm good. Thank you.
Good, man. Let's jump right into it. Your last fight in the cage, Aftershock 31. You had a rematch with Brayden Graham. The first fight, you dominated, got the decision. But in the second fight, third round submission win for the title. Take us through that fight and the finish.
To start with, I was healthy. We were both healthy. So our first fight, we were both really sick. I ended up having food poisoning for the first fight. But yeah, coming into the second fight for the Aftershock belt, or title, we were both really healthy. And if I'm healthy, I feel like I'm unstoppable. So, I wanted to strike. And then later on, I got a little bit tired in the round. And he, I just thought I'd go for a takedown and a Darce choke. That's my bread and butter, so I'll catch that from anywhere. So yeah, just set it up with a punch and sunk it in. It was good.
If you look at the first fight, you had a few submission attempts in that one. And did you learn from that, from his escapes and his defense to be able to get that Darce easier in the second fight?
I did learn some things, but he changed for the second fight completely. He was not the same fighter I fought the first time. His striking was a lot better. He never gave his back to me in the second fight, where the first fight he did, and I managed to take his back a lot in that first one. So I had learned a lot from the first one, if I took his back on how I was going to finish him. But in the second fight, no, he didn't give me his back at all. And I tried to force his back. I tried to set him up to take his back, but he was all over it to, not give me that opportunity. So, yeah, I did learn a lot, but then I also had to change my game because he changed his. He was so different.
Well, it's always good to add another belt to your collection, right?
Yeah, it is. Always. It's always good.
Now, what's going on with the Aftershock title? Is Aftershock continuing with more events? Because I saw that the owner of Aftershock is working with XFC now. So is that what's going on with that?
Yeah, that was his last show working with Aftershock. So now he's now tied in with XFC now. So I don't know if I'll be on Aftershock ever again, but I'll definitely be around. There's a few things in talk, so I'll be around somewhere. But yeah, I can't say too much more about that. But
of course, man. Last month you went to the One Warrior Series tryouts. How was that experience? Because it was an interesting experience.
It was super interesting. I pretty much made my girlfriend Kristy Obst, made her apply for it, and I applied myself. So she got accepted pretty quickly. I was still waiting for another week to hear, and I got knocked back. And then so they said you needed a coach to hold pads for whoever gets accepted. So I flew with her to Sydney to try out, and that was really cool experience. I had some friends over there, so I got to catch up with some friends myself, and then we tried out, and she smashed it, really. I got to try out myself. As I was warming her up, the boys, Rich Franklin and the team, come over to me and asked if I was trying out. I said that I had applied but got knocked back, and then they said, we want you to try out anyway. So I got the chance to try out. Really good experience. And Rich is a cool guy. He's a really down to earth, cool guy. So it's really good.
Kristy, she moves on, right? She gets a contract with One Warrior Series. Talk about her potential. How good is she? What is her ceiling?
All right. She has no ceiling. I believe she she will be the one championship champion one day. And obviously, like all of us, we all got a little bit of work to go, work on and things like that. But sky's the limit for her. She's amazing. She's a fast learner. She's dedicated. She's open-minded. So, she's not held back from, oh, well, this doesn't work for me, so I'll never try it, like she's always there to learn and grow and be better. So, I see her being the one championship champion one day.
For the people that have never seen her fight, what type of fight does she bring in the cage?
Well, if you haven't seen her fight, you should definitely look her up. She's exciting to watch, and if you watch from fight to fight, you just see the growth that she has is like huge. She's only been doing MMA for a year and a half. She was doing Muay Thai before that, so she's predominantly a striker. But yeah, she's only been doing jiu-jitsu for a year and a half. She had 4 fights in 1 year of training jiu-jitsu, and you just see her game. She held her own against a girl. She did lose the match, but this girl was a blue belt, got a purple belt just after the fight. So, she was pretty good, and she couldn't submit Kristy after a year of jiu-jitsu training. So I think you give her another year or two, and she will be one championship champion for sure. So
Kristy, she is one of your fighters at Martial Arts and Fight Center, but you have so many other fighters underneath you. You're the head coach. You're an active fighter. You're the head coach of basically every martial art, right there.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, so, which is incredible.
Yeah, I've got. I think about 11 active fighters right now. So I coach boxing, jiu-jitsu, MMA, and Muay Thai. I've got. I also got to coach myself, so I don't have a coach myself. I work a day job, so it's a pretty hectic lifestyle. We've got one girl, she's going to fight for an Australian title in boxing. I've got another guy, he's turning pro on the same weekend. So, and then I've got another guy who's doing a Muay Thai fight, his first time fighting on the same weekend too. So I've got 3 people in 3 different states on the same weekend. And then, I've got like everyone, people fighting before, me fighting during. So it's pretty hard to juggle, but we get it done.
Well, there's always action, I guess, at the gym, right?
Yeah, always.
Speaking of boxing, last weekend you were at Thunderdome 29, Dragonfire Boxing. You took on Richard Lockett for the featherweight title. Tell me about that fight, and what did you think of your performance?
It was a very frustrating fight. So I didn't win the fight. I lost that. He had a good game plan that sort of nullifies boxing in a boxing fight. He's just very forward with his head on your chest, and people are like, oh, just angle out, just do this, just do that. It's not that easy. So for me, my performance, like, I don't know. I was happy. I only did what I could do. Like, other than that, there's not really much else I could have done. I had a game plan. I thought, if he comes in and does what he does, I'll just tie him up and the ref can break us, and then we can go back to boxing. But I got told off every time I tied him up, so I had to try and deal with it. I tried to use some wrestling in my boxing to slip under his arms and angle out and try and hit him, but it was just a frustrating fight. So get paid, move on, and get ready for the next one that's on, which is obviously the MMA fight on Hex.
Yeah,
Oh,
exactly
had it
3 weeks later, right? You got a fight coming up, Hex Fight
Yeah.
Series 18. You're facing Jordan O'Connor. Thoughts of him as an opponent?
Um, so the first time I saw him fight was the first time I fought Brayden. Afterwards, I went out and just watched the fights, and I watched him fight. I was really impressed with his striking, and just him as a fighter. He was actually pretty good. So uh, he yeah he's good striker. I think he just lacks a little in his wrestling and his jiu-jitsu. Got good wrestling defense and good jiu-jitsu defense, which I noticed when he fought Mitchell Burkett. But he's good. He's well rounded, but I'm just better everywhere. So
Yeah, Mitchell Burkett, he is known for his jiu-jitsu, but he
yeah,
couldn't put away O'Connor. What do you
no,
why do you feel that you can put away O'Connor on the ground? Because everybody knows that his only loss is a submission. Is there a massive hole in in the grappling department for him?
no, not a massive hole, not at all. But look, if you look at it, I'm taller. I'll be stronger than him. I've never gone against a flyweight who has been physically stronger than me. I've always been stronger. So I'm taller. I definitely have a longer reach than him. I'm stronger. I've got more power in my shots. My wrestling is really good. My jiu-jitsu is really good. I think it's better than his. I think I'm just better than him in every aspect. Not that he's a bad fighter. It's just I think I'm just better everywhere. And I've never lost a striking match against someone shorter than me. So yeah, I'm pretty confident everywhere it goes, really.
Do you have a training camp? Because, we mentioned earlier that you are the head coach. You just had a boxing match. Do you prepare for the boxing match and then switch it up for the MMA fight in your training? How do you manage all of that?
Okay, so pretty much I don't train for fights. I do, but I don't. So my training basically consists of me teaching a technique, and that's it. And then I'll do some fitness. I'll do some running with everyone as well. So I get some pads in here and there. I get a roll in here and there, but that's pretty much all my training that happens for all my fights. And yeah, like I think just as long as I'm fit, I've got the skill to win. It's just making sure that I'm fit enough, which we do fitness outside of the gym. So that's majority of my training is fitness training over technique and stuff like that and pad work and that. But yeah, it is hard. It's hard to juggle. Yeah, and if the guys don't have fights coming up, then I can train a bit more. I can jump in the class and people can hold pads for me and I can roll a lot more. But if I got other people fighting and have fights coming up, I'll generally look after them first before myself. So yeah,
Wow,
pretty hard.
that's a very selfless act, especially with a fight coming up. But do you feel that allows you to kind of be fight ready all the time?
Yeah, well, I think drills are more important than sparring and rolling. Like, definitely have to spar and roll for timing and stuff like that. But I think drills are way more important than anything. So when I drill, like I might teach the technique, but I'm drilling all the time. So in a way, I'm training all the time. But I don't have anyone looking at me from the third point of view going, oh, look, your hand's a little low, or, you're bent over, your balance is off. So I sort of miss out on that a little bit, but yeah, just got to do what you got to do what you got to do with what you can do, like just work with it, really.
Definitely. O'Connor, he is one of the up-and-coming prospects in Australia. A win over him, where does that put you in the rankings?
I have no idea. I have no idea how that works. But look, I rankings, one, because I don't know how it works. so I don't really care too much about it. People say, people want to be ranked number 1, but they pick and choose all their fights, to be there, where I've not once ever chosen a matchup to fight. I've never, the only time I've turned a match down is if I can't make the fight, so other than that, promoters have rang me up and gone, oh yeah, I can fight on your show. If you get a match for me, awesome. And they'll ring me up and go, oh, will you fight this guy? Yes, of course I'll fight him. I said, I'll be there for that date. If he's in my weight class and he wants to fight, I'm there. I'd never pick or choose anybody. So, yeah, I think that's... So, ranking-wise, I'll make it to the top because I'll fight them all. I'll beat them all. So, eventually I'll get there.
Well, it all starts this year, March 29th, Hex Fight Series 18, Melbourne, Australia. Thank you for your time, Ryan, and good luck to you.
No worries. Thank you very much.